As reported, Special Forces of the Active Operations Department of the Main Intelligence Directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine have carried out a strike on a Russian radar complex in occupied Crimea. The action was part of the ongoing demilitarization of the peninsula, the press service of the Main Intelligence Directorate reports. On the night of August the 28th, 2025, the Ukrainian military destroyed the expensive radar complex 91N6E, part of the S-400 Triumph anti-aircraft missile system located on the territory of the temporarily occupied Crimea. According to the Main Intelligence Directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, the strike was carried out with high precision and completely disabled the enemy facility, depriving Russian forces of the ability to conduct surveillance and adjust fire in the area. This event proved once again that Ukrainian special forces are successfully depriving Russian forces of the ability to conduct surveillance and adjust fire in the area. This event proved once again that Ukrainian special forces are successfully continuing the demilitarization of the temporarily occupied Crimea. The Russian radar, which the Kremlin once praised as an invulnerable element of defense, is now blind. Earlier, the unit destroyed several radar stations belonging to the Russian 3rd Radio Technical Regiment based in the Ipetri mountain area on Crimea's southern coast. Russia had attempted to protect these radar systems by hiding them under Soviet-era radio transparent domes. However, Ukrainian drones still managed to hit the Nebo SVU Podlet K1 and the rare 98L6 Yenisei radars. The Yenisei radar is a next-generation system developed for use with the future S-500 missile platform. The goal of these strikes, according to Militani, is to carve out blind corridors in Russian radar coverage over occupied territory. These gaps have allowed Ukrainian long-range drones to carry out additional raids. Earlier, Ukrainian military intelligence, HUR, said it struck a Russian Buyan M-class small missile ship, a carrier of caliber cruise missiles, near Crimea in the Azov Sea. According to the agency, during the operation, fighters from HUR's Special Unit Primary damaged the ship's radar system using a drone strike, while Special Forces launched an attack directly on the missile carrier. The missile ship, stationed in Temryuk Bay and ready to launch caliber missiles, was forced to retreat from its patrol zone after the attack, HUR said. Earlier, Ukraine's security service struck an airfield in Saki in annexed Crimea, hitting 5 fighter jets which Russia uses for its regular attacks on Ukraine. 5 Russian fighter jets have been hit in an overnight drone attack by Ukraine's security service at an airfield in Saki in Russia-annexed Crimea. SBU stated that its Special Operations Center A missions drones destroyed one Su-30SM aircraft, damaged another, and hit 3 Su-24s, while also striking the aviation weapons depot. The successful special operation carried out by the SBU in Saki marks another step toward weakening the enemy's capacity to wage its war of aggression against Ukraine. Security Service said, Ukraine has also recently intensified its efforts in targeting Russian airfields and warplanes used to regularly bomb Ukraine. As reported recently, Ukrainian long-range drones have attacked and sunk a Russian cargo vessel carrying Iranian Shahed drones before they could be unloaded. This was only the first step of what followed. A broader campaign in which Ukraine targeted everything connected to the Iranian Shahed drones, from launch sites to massive storage depots and assembly plants, according to Euromaidan Press media outlet. The first target of Ukraine became Port Olya on the Caspian Sea, where they targeted a vessel of extreme importance, as the ship was loaded with ammunition and drone parts for Iranian Shahed drones. Olya is Russia's main port on the Caspian, linking Iran with inland routes, and striking here disrupted a key corridor that has funneled Iranian drones into Russia for nightly strikes on Ukrainian cities. The attack showed that shipments can be destroyed even at their entry point, far from the front, and for Ukraine, this sets a precedent for targeting the logistics routes that feed Russia's drone campaign. Ukraine has begun a methodical campaign against every stage of the Shahed program, aiming to destroy transport, launch, storage, and production sites in sequence. Euromaidan Press says the next strike hit the Primorsko-Akhtarsk airfield in Krasnodar, a known launch site for Shaheds across the Sea of Azov. Overnight, drones hit launch areas with satellite data confirming fires shortly after Russian launch activity was detected. Because this airfield has been central to Russia's swarm attacks, earlier satellite data shows repeated targeting to reduce operational capacity over time. Each strike forces Moscow to lean more on mobile launchers, which reduces massing and degrades the effectiveness of their saturation-style attacks. Ukraine also struck storage depots in Tatarstan, over 1,300 kilometers from the border. At Kyzyl, long-range drones hit warehouses storing ready-to-use Shaheds and imported parts, igniting fires that burned through the site. Russian outlets try to minimize the impact, but Ukrainian intelligence confirmed that a large number of drones were destroyed before they could move forward. Images shared by Russian sources of similar depots suggest that a single warehouse can hold a full strike package, often numbering hundreds in one facility alone. This was not an isolated event, as Ukraine hit the same depot again a short while later, waiting for the depot to be replenished before striking again. The factory at Yelabuga in Tatarstan has also remained under Ukrainian fire because this plant is the largest and central to Russia's effort to assemble Shaheds domestically and reduce dependency on Iranian supplies. Earlier strikes damaged workshops and caused fires, and recent attacks again reached the site. Euromaidan Press says the sequence of strikes on a ship destroyed in Astrakhan, a launch site hit in Krasnodar, depots burning in Tatarstan, and a factory repeatedly attacked reflects a deliberate strategy. By striking the supply chain from point of entry through storage and launch to final assembly, Kiev has shown that every stage is vulnerable and that distance no longer guarantees protection.